Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jack Heschler. I am one of the general partners of Como Clinic Partners, and I'm very pleased to report this afternoon on the just completed closing with respect to the bargain sale of our property at Bandana Square in St. Paul to the Minnesota Cameroon community, represented by Robert and Steve.
My fellow Minnesota Cameroonians, Happy New Year. The advent of a new year is a time of reflection and renewal, a moment of progress and possibility, of challenge and opportunity. In retrospect, 2013 has been a benchmark year for MINCAM, and it is gratifying to know that working together as a team in building a progressive and united community has measured our character and tested our basic instinct of sticking together. Our determination to succeed as one people has guided us every step of the way. MINCAM has become the beacon of success which other communities would like to mirror. MINCAM is standing tall, looking to the future with courage, confidence, and hope. As you may already be well aware, MINCAM is currently engaged in a great awakening and awareness for our number one issue, the acquisition of the Cameroon Community Center. One can say without fear of contradiction that you all have shown an overwhelming support to this historic project. Through grassroots fundraising events, individual donations, and your group contributions, we have succeeded with renewed energy and optimism at raising close to $100,000, both in pledges and in cash, in record time. My dear Cameroonians, it is with much pleasure that I wish to announce tonight that as of Monday, December 30th, 2013, at about 2:01 p.m., we own our very own Cameroon Community Center. It is centrally located in the Twin Cities in the highly prized Bandana Square grounds in St. Paul, Minnesota. It is about 57,000 square feet and currently in the National Registry of Historic Buildings in the United States of America. Among several of other credible organizations, and after a very competitive and robust bidding process, MINCAM emerged at the top with flying colors. My fellow countrymen and women, the Cameroon Community Center is going to foster an environment in which Cameroonians and others in this community will improve their quality of life through access to resources for economic, social, and cultural development. I would be taking more elaborate time to talk about the Cameroon Community Center immediately after this address. Please stay tuned. Dear compatriots, inspired by the spirit of unifying a people through sports, a lawn tennis tournament including a children's summer program and a MINCAM soccer league have been instituted under the direction of the Sports and Recreation Committee. These sporting activities do not only provide an avenue whereby community members reaffirm their own particularity, create new forms of solidarity, and reinvent themselves, but also translates into community members working together as a team, respecting each other, being responsible for their actions, and becoming leaders. In fact, sports in the MINCAM community is an embodiment of a gradual transformation of traditional approaches to community building and a changing definition of community itself. Every index of community life has witnessed exponential growth. The community has recorded unprecedented graduation rates from all levels of academic echelon. Participation in community activities have increased significantly through committees, cultural groups, alumni associations, and other social groups. And the growth of membership is not only an achievement in its own right, but also an indication of the dynamism of the great community that we have in Minnesota. The MINCAM Children's Christmas event registered yet another resounding success in 2013. Faith-based organizations have kept the community prayerful in thanksgiving and praise. Members have remained faithful to our group life insurance and supplemental life insurance programs, and we continue to implore every Cameroonian living in Minnesota to avail themselves of one form of insurance at all times in order to continue to guarantee the unquestionable assurance of afterlife care without begging or breaking a bank. MINCAM's financial structures have been strengthened to meet the conventional tenets of a 501c organization. My fellow Minnesota Cameroonians, MINCAM is at the crossroads of history as an emerging and progressive community. The iconic visit of several high-profile Cameroonian-born personalities to Minnesota in the past year is affirmative of the prominence that the community has earned across border lines. Throughout our cultural weekend celebrations, the young and the old come out in unprecedented numbers to mingle with one another and to affirm the avowed sense of the people bound together by reasons of common heritage and shared interests and values. This is eloquent testimony of a people who has pledged to coexist and enjoy peace and unity in this land of milk and honey. My dear compatriots, the sense of community living is highly cherished and is a value of traditional African life. In obedience to this command of the spirit of community, this administration in 2013 instituted an award to recognize individuals for promoting community spirit and for outstanding community service. This award was named the MINCAM Ubuntu Award and was intended to be the highest recognition bestowed by MINCAM upon any individual. The word Ubuntu has its origins in the Bantu languages of Africa and is a classical concept that considers the success of the group above that of any individual. Ubuntu is not only a social principle, but a moral virtue which translates into the willingness to give oneself for the common good of one's community beyond any single individual interest. Three distinguished persons, two of those posthumously, were honored last August 2013 with this award, and each year a commission shall work in selecting one individual to receive this award annually. Fellow Cameroonians, thank you for your spirit of inclusiveness that has brought Cameroonians in Minnesota under the umbrella of a thriving MINCAM organization. Thank you for the great honor of being president of such a providentially united community. I really look forward to collaborating more with you in 2014 to further advance the goals and aspirations of MINCAM. I hope we will even be more successful during the next year as we continue to move closer towards the process of making our CCC a home for Cameroonians here in Minnesota. Our individual fates are linked and our futures intertwined. Each time we gather at a wakekeeping or a funeral, a graduation ceremony or a baby shower, at our different cultural groups or alumni associations, we bear witness to the enduring strength of our enshrined values. We affirm the promise of our motherland. We recall that what binds us together is not the tribe from which we come in Cameroon, nor the origins of our names, but our common heritage and shared interests and values. From the savannas of northern Cameroon to the dense equatorial forest of the south, from the grass fields of the west to the jungles of the east, from the coast of the littoral to the hills of Mount Fako, we will unite like one people in the spirit of Ubuntu to embrace the future and transform this community into one of our dreams. In the words of Bishop Albert Muzerewa, former Prime Minister of Rhodesia, today Zimbabwe, he said, "We should be thankful for the life we have because we don't know how long it would last. We should be so busy loving our lives that we have no time for hate, regret, or fear. We should be mindful of every little pleasure in life by living every day like it is our last day." My dear compatriots, as we begin a new year, we do so with confidence and with renewed focus for excellence. It is true that 2014, like any other year, will bring obstacles and opportunities. But remember that each challenge brings us together and each accomplishment makes us stronger. Our community and people are outstanding and our optimism is boundless. The rest of the world looks up to us as an example, and we should never hesitate to step up to that responsibility. Wishing you and your families love and happiness and continued good health and prosperity. Long live MINCAM. God bless the Minnesota Cameroon community.
My fellow Minnesota Cameroonians, I'm here today to present to you this building, which is the new Cameroon Community Center here in Minnesota. We own this building as of December 30th, 2013. It's worth about $5.8 million. It's a 2-level building, and total square footage that is usable by our community is about 57,000 square feet. And moving forward, this is going to be the center for Cameroonian American life in Minnesota.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me know what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
I just want to show you the surroundings.
Hold my hand.
All the buildings in and around the Bandana Square grounds have historical architectural structures that have to be maintained.
Fly me to the moon.
Attached to the building is the Best Western Hotel that can host over 150 guests at once.
Fly me to the moon.
Adjacent to the building is a 450 car spot ramp that is connected to the building by a skyway system.
For all practical purposes, you guys are the owner of the building when we complete this initial closing.
December 30th, 2013 will forever be remembered as the day when 1020 Bandana Boulevard became home for Cameroonian American life in the Twin City area.
We'll all three have something to say about this, but I wanted to step up first and say how pleased we are as the owners of the property to find a really substantial and really exciting nonprofit group that wants to do something really significant with this piece of property and turn it into a community center for the Cameroonian community and for others, frankly, in a way that would make all of us proud. We at Como Clinic Partners have owned this property for 30 years and have had it as a medical office building. But at this point, all of our partners, basically, most of our partners, all of our partners are 30 years older than we were then when we started this. And so we decided that maybe it would be better if we actually found a nonprofit corporation that could put this property to good use. And in the Cameroon community, we have been very pleased to find such a partner. So I've been working with Steve and with Robert, and we have completed the transaction. The document, the contract for deed will be recorded this afternoon. The transaction will be complete as of tomorrow, and this will start an entirely new life for this building, which we think will be very exciting and which we think will be very positive and helpful for the Minnesota Cameroon community. With that, let me ask Robert to give some comments from your point of view or from the point of view of the Cameroonian community as to this partnership that we have developed with each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
I'm sorry,
Jack. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you how pleased I am today. Today is very historic in the history of the Cameroon community here in Minnesota. Like Jack just said, we just concluded this deal with the partners, and we are owning a property for the first time here in Minnesota as Cameroonians. I want to give a special thank you to all Cameroonians here in Minnesota for being supporters of this deal, and we promise them that, as we have always been, we will make sure we use this property judiciously so that that can meet the needs of Cameroonians here in Minnesota, and obviously the needs of other immigrant communities here in the Twin Cities. So thank you again to the chair of the project committee, Mr. Steve Daly, who has worked tirelessly with his team of the project committee to realize this deal today. So, ladies and gentlemen, today is a historic day, and I would like to give an opportunity to the chair of the MINCAM project committee to give a word on this deal concluded today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you also, Jack, for having worked with you guys. I want to first of all say this to the Cameroon community. This is a very big deal for us, and I don't think we would have been able to get to where we are without the strong leadership of our president, Dr. Robert Tamunkong. He has been able to point us in the right direction, and with the help of the other members within the project committee, the boards of directors and the executive, we've been able to come together as a team, working for the good interest and for Cameroonians, and we hope for the rest of the African community and also the Minnesota community to be able to come up with a center that is going to serve our needs. Now, I being one of the Cameroonians who have been here for the longest, I cannot be any prouder of being a Cameroonian, because we have been able to achieve something which I think people will look back in history as a very, very major step. So I want to say that I am extremely being very, very proud to be a Cameroonian, being very, very, very proud to work under the leadership of our president, and also to have done business with Jack Hessler and his partners. They have been very cordial to us, and they have been very, 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 very open to us. So this has been a very good partnership and a very good working relationship. Thank you very much.
Okay, this is a historic deal between Como Clinic Partners and MINCAM. What made it work for you, Como Clinic and MINCAM? What made it work, Jack?
Well, I think there are two things to be said for why this project worked. One is that we were introduced, honestly, by the St. Paul Port Authority, and the Port Authority has been very helpful to Como Clinic Partners as we've been looking for alternative uses for our building. But they suggested, and we agreed when we first met with the people from the Minnesota Cameroon community, that this could be a very exciting physical space for the community, and could be a very exciting opportunity for the community to put meat and bones on a proposal and a dream that I understand the community has had for quite some time. It secondly works from the point of view of the Como Clinic Partners, because frankly we will be able to take a charitable donation. This is a bargain sale. You're paying some minor amount of money for this thing, but the point is the vast amount of the value will be in the form of a charitable donation by Como Clinic Partners, and our various partners will be able to take a charitable deduction for this, or at least a number of them. Some can't use it, but generally speaking, the big thing is that we had the satisfaction of seeing our building utilized in a forward-looking and very exciting way for the Cameroonian community and the broader community of the Twin Cities. So that, for us, it's been a very positive social effort, and we're pleased to do it with you.
Now let me just follow this and say, my understanding is that there were many bidders for this particular property. How did you select the Cameroon community and not the other ones? What was the process for you?
Well, the process for, there have been any number of interested nonprofit groups that we've actually spoken with. But the thing that made the Cameroonian community so attractive and so effective under this circumstance is that they were ready to go. A number of the other nonprofits would like to do it, but needed more time, needed to go raise money, needed to get their act organized in a better way. But the Cameroonian community was here, it was ready to go. It had a plan that was exciting. It had major commitments for support. And so generally speaking, it was the Cameroonian community was able to move quickly, and we were able to complete this transaction this calendar year, which is important because it means that the property will be exempt from real estate taxes when it's operated by the Cameroonian community after 2014. So this worked out for both of us to do it this calendar year, and the significant thing was that the Minnesota Cameroon community had the resources, had the horsepower capable of understanding this deal and doing it quickly and wrapping it up in a business-like way. And so it's been a great pleasure for me, particularly dealing with both of these people, but Steve, as the project coordinator, has been a great help in terms of just working closely, looking at the details of the transaction, and as both of us work through what it was each of us needed to make this thing work.
And this question goes to either the project coordinator or the president. I mean, Jack, that was a huge compliment. Can you tell us what you did to be ready for this other than other groups?
I would like to thank you for that question, but I would like to give the opportunity to the project chair who's been working all along on this project to give a response to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. As Jack noted, and the Cameroon community, the reason that we're ready to be able to execute a project like this in short notice is because of the groundwork that we had done before. I will always try to reinstate the leadership that we had. Remember when the president put together a project committee, he had goals of what we needed to do. And so those of us in the present project committee, including the former chairman of the committee, we started working on those goals. And we said we were going to do our necessary due diligence. We wanted to make sure that we had a very good structure that would be able to execute a project if the opportunity came up, just like we had. So this has been, you know, some hard work behind the scenes from a lot of members within the Cameroon community, putting together and volunteering their own resources and their own time to make sure that when we had an opportunity like this, we'll be able to take advantage of it. So again, all the commendation goes to the Cameroonian community and those people who have worked hard on this project. Thank you.
I'm going to add this question to both the president and you know, it seems to me that it's a huge commitment, and it's MINCAM ready to be property managers in town here?
I would say yes. I've never, again, I'll go back and say that, again, I've been in Minnesota since 1976, and I've been here long. I've never seen such vitality within the Cameroonian community. I've never seen such excitement within the Cameroon community to be able to do a project like this. And I think this is totally different from what I've heard and seen from other states and other groups within the Twin Cities area. I think the Cameroonian community, they are very, very excited. They are ready to do this, and I think this is going to re-energize them in the ways that we haven't seen. I have full confidence in our Cameroonian community that we'll be able to put our minds and resources together and make this work, not only for the near future, but also for our children and our grandchildren.
Now, Jack, I want to ask you another question as a follow-up to what you just said. You know, you told us that the Cameroon community had this property because it came ready. I'm sure you also considered your projections of what you expect of them. Say, what do you expect to see in the next 5 years?
Well, I think that Bandana Square and Energy Park as a whole has always been a focal point in St. Paul for renewal, redevelopment, and exciting new programs. And I think that the Cameroonian Center will, in fact, reinforce a lot of those values and a lot of those features of the neighborhood. And I know the neighbors in Energy Park and in Bandana Square look forward to having the kind of vitality, the kind of variety of programs, the variety of uses, and the excitement of an entire new population coming to enjoy the kind of stuff that's going on in Energy Park. So I can say this also from the point of view of somebody who's been a resident for the last 40 years of St. Paul and a big supporter of St. Paul. I'm very proud to welcome the Cameroonian community in this context. You are already members of the St. Paul community, but this brings you to St. Paul and frankly brings a lot of your members who don't live in St. Paul into St. Paul in a much more substantial and vital way. And we really thank you for coming. We look forward to seeing the exciting things that are going to happen in the next 5 years.
Mr. President, I obviously can hear my own excitement about this, and I think I'm getting some of that energy from you. And it's been a journey which it was part of your campaign promise to get a center like what just happened. How does this feel? How does today? I mean, how do you feel today?
Well, that is a very pertinent question. And like you rightly said, that was part of my manifesto when I ran for president of MINCAM. I promised the Cameroonian people, and I swore before everybody that I was going to elevate this community to a different level. I was going to give MINCAM a brand. And I think we have succeeded in a few years to do just that. And this will be a culmination of all that work that we've done over the years. So my excitement cannot be overemphasized. And again, I just want to thank everybody for getting on board. Credit will not go to me, but credit would go to everybody who has surrounded me on this leadership team and the Cameroon community at large to make this happen tonight. But again, thank you for that question, and those promises I hope we keep to work hard in order to make of this center one that would be a meeting place for Cameroonians, that would give access to Cameroonians to maximize their potentials. So thank you for that question again.
Let me add something in that respect. We had a meeting on Saturday at which I think there were probably about 20 of the Cameroonian community and the various organizations involved with MINCAM. And I was personally very impressed by both the breadth of the interest, the breadth of the skills that were evidenced there in terms of people knowing about different aspects of this kind of thing, and then more particularly the depth of interest on everyone's part and how they were willing to give up literally 3.5 hours on short notice on a Saturday between the holidays to come over and be part of this very important exercise and to take a personal look and express personal interest in how this thing is going to come together and what are the potentials. So I congratulate both of you that you guys have done a terrific job at building that kind of cohesive community that has people not just wishing you well, but rather in there helping you and making it happen, and it really makes a huge difference, and that's what we look forward to seeing in the Cameroonian Center at Energy Park. Energy Park can use, or we like energy, and you guys are gonna bring it to us.
Thank you so much,
Steve. I see you. You know, there's some success, which means basically unemploying yourself. So what becomes of the project committee? I mean, you've accomplished, so it looks like you're not going to be a chairman of that committee anymore.
Well, I'm not too sure about that. I'll let the president say that. I think, in essence, this is we've done part of the groundwork. The heavy lifting still needs to be done. We've been able to identify and find a building. We need to still figure out what we need to do with the building and how to be able to raise more funds. So it's not only going to take, in the past few months, we've been working as a joint committee between the project committee, the executive, and also with the members of the board. And in a meeting that we had yesterday, that phase of MINCAM is going to continue to put in place all the necessary things that we need to do to make sure that this is a success. Now, I want to say something else, if you allow me. You asked the president about his excitement, and I would like to tell you about my excitement. As being a resident of the Twin Cities area for the past over 30 years, and we've seen other centers come up. We've seen the Eritrean Center. We've seen the Ukrainian Center. We've seen other centers, and I kept on asking myself, why not us? Why not Cameroonians? Why can't we have our own center? Why can't we be the ones who have a center that will be able to address the needs of our own people and other people? So that's my own excitement, that we've been able to have a place that Cameroonians can come together and we'll be able to support each other and make ourselves better, not only as Cameroonians, but also those of us who have become American citizens, and also some place that our children will be able to benefit from. Now remember, this is not only going to be for the Cameroon community, it's going to be for the African community and for the American community. And that's why, I mean, that's the purpose, and that's what keeps me going on this project. So again, with the, you know, help of the president, if he wants to keep me part of the community, I'll continue to serve on his request. Thank you.
Mr. President, can you address the issue of what other roles do you see for the project committee going forward?
Well, initially, when I put this committee in place, their role was to actually strategize in the process of acquiring a community center. Like he just mentioned, the job is not done yet. We've just done 20% of that by identifying and acquiring a property. But moving forward, we still need to make that property a place of our own dreams, a place that would meet our needs and our aspirations. And that would be a finely defined task that I would have to assign to the project committee maybe, or some kind of special task force that will be put in place in the coming days. Thank you.
Now, I just talked about my excitement as a member of the community. I know that when members of our community get this news, they will be excited, they will want to see the place. Do you have any arrangements for that?
As a matter of fact, I was thinking about that, and in the coming days, I would let the community know about it. We were thinking of next weekend. We shall hold a town hall meeting at that very venue on Energy Park, and we would give an opportunity for Cameroonians to come on board to see exactly what it is. And I would invite everybody and encourage everybody to come out on this day that will be determined in the coming days to see where this property is located, and that way we can have a feel of what we are getting into.
Jack, you know what you just did to this community is that you became an integral part of this community, because we're not going to let you go after being part of realizing this dream. And I don't know what you think about yourself and this community going forward.
Well, there are two things. I am a member of the St. Peter Claver Parish in the neighborhood over there, and I'm quite acquainted with the Cameroonian choir that sings there periodically, and to the enjoyment of the entire congregation. So we've had good contacts. I personally and my wife have had good contacts with Cameroonian friends from our involvement in the parish, and so that's step number one. But this is a big leap forward, and these guys have graced me with some gifts of Cameroonian coffee, which we like very much, and I've told them that I want some more of that. But my personal experience over the 40 years that I've been practicing law here has involved a lot of involvement with minority communities of one kind or another, and I've been very proud of that, very happy to do it. And frankly, this is also very exciting in a very positive way, because I'm a real estate lawyer and I do generally big real estate deals, and so I am looking forward to helping Steve and Robert as this thing goes forward. And let me make a slight comment, an aside here. I want to compliment Steve, because he has been a real pro at working with this. I think I said this before, but the point is that in a transaction like this, it really helps to have somebody, frankly, on the other side, but nevertheless working with you to look at all the small details and to understand some of the nuances as we go forward. And Steve has been a terrific ally and partner as we've done this. And I look forward to being a continuing partner with Steve, with Robert, with the Cameroonian community as a whole, because I do think this is going to be a very exciting and energizing time, and a very exciting and energizing and energized place. Thank you.
I'll just ask for closing remarks for each of you if you do have.
You want to go first? Or
you go.
Okay. Well, I want to thank the individuals with whom I've been working on this for the last week. It's been a concentrated work effort In fact, today we've spent the entire day working on this. We spend long hours on Saturday going through with the broader community. So it has really been a pleasure working with the members of the Cameroonian community, and specifically with these two gentlemen, as well as some of the other members that were here before. And so it's fun when you can do a project like this. It is enjoyable when we, as partners of Como Clinic Partners, can give a substantial asset, as this is, to some people that can really do something good with it, and good for themselves, good for the community, good for the entire country. And so in that respect, it's a very warm day for me, and I need to literally leave now and simply go down and record the documents so that we have this of record. But again, I thank you both. It has been a terrific personal pleasure and professional pleasure as well. And so that's all I can say.
All right. Thank you so much, Jack. I cannot thank you much so much together with your partners. This is a providential gift for the community, and I hope we are going to use this gift judiciously in order to meet the needs and aspirations of our partners who have graciously offered to work with us and give us this big donation. Thank you to Cameroonians in Minnesota. Thank you to everybody who has supported us along the way up till this point. And again, I want to wish everybody a happy new year with this gift, this providential gift that is coming to us so timely. Thank you very much.
First of all, I want to openly say to you, Jack, it's been a real pleasure working with you and working with John Manilo, who is your broker, yes, who have to open the place up for us in short notice. When we were looking at projects like this, we're hoping to be able to find a partner like you. You know, with, we're looking for a little building. We didn't know that we're going to get a mansion, you know, and which will address our needs. And I would like to also say to our president, again, your leadership has been, you know, just extremely good, and I think we wouldn't have been able to get to this situation and this position without that. And this is, I'm standing here as the chairman of the project committee, but actually I'm representing a lot of people who have been working behind the scenes. The credit does not go to me. It goes to everybody in the project committee that has been working on this. Again, as I said, the former chairman and all the different members, the members within the executive, they know themselves, and also the members within the board who have worked together to put together a package that we could use. So I'm standing here on behalf of all those who have worked tirelessly to make this happen. So Cameroonians, let us continue to work as a team, and we'll be able to be successful if we do that. Thank you very much.
Much remains to be done, and we will continue in the spirit of oneness to make our center a vibrant, welcoming, and nurturing place for all Cameroonians. We therefore summon all Cameroonians without exception to cherish this moment. We honor our parents, alive and transitioned, that this achievement is a tribute to the values they instilled in us, the pioneering spirit of never giving up or caving to fear and innuendo. This, my fellow Cameroonians, are the core principles that govern our sojourn to the United States of America, and we must not relent. I congratulate Minnesota Cameroonians for this providential achievement. In the coming days or so, you all will receive a communication from the leadership of MINCAM on the showing of our new building that we just acquired. We all have the solemn obligation to embrace the future with common effort and purpose, and with passion and dedication. Let us answer the call of history in shaping a better community for ourselves and for generations of Cameroonians in Minnesota. I know we are all mindful of the fact that this work could hardly be more critical, as momentum continues to drive our resolve in transforming our newly acquired building into one that will meet our needs and aspirations. I would like to take this moment to render gratitude to every Cameroonian living in Minnesota for your unwavering support behind this project that would leave a legacy of vision that shall forever be cherished by generations of Cameroonians to come. This development, simply put, is the outcome of all the goodwill of our people who work together tirelessly for the focus of achieving a courageous outcome for the people here in Minnesota and for our posterity.